Allah is great, you know they keep person. Though they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep person. Salam alaikum, alaikum wassalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Muslim, it's not a Christian. Now we there for Bible, make we kill ourselves. Salam alaikum, alaikum wassalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Christian, it's not a Muslim. Now we there for Quran, make we pump ourselves. They come from Shah, they want on with terrorists. Come from Niger, they want on with terrorists. Every day by day, them are bombing our schools, killing our youth, say we know they happy. So they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is crazy, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is crazy, you know they keep person. So they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is crazy, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep person. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad know they keep for Allah. King they preach peace to the unbelievers. Change your ways and turn to Allah. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad know they keep for Allah. King they preach peace to the unbelievers. They can change our ways and turn to Allah. The wages of sin, say my brother not dead. Wages of sin, say my sister not dead. Repent and have eternal life. Make you feel bad, I want guess now we know they happy. Know they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep person. Know they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep person. Though they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep person. Though they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep person.
Mr. Olodo, I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author and president of African Security Forum based in the United Kingdom.
Joining me live now to discuss this further is terrorism expert and author Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by security analyst Temi Olodo. Good morning, Temi.
Ladies and gentlemen, my people, to be man, no be by muscle, to be man, no be by plenty bia. Okay, what do you know about security will concern your life, concern your family, and concern your community? How much about politics will concern you, and even concern the politics you know about? You want know more? You want sabi as they go? Oh yeah, now introducing Temitope Olodo. Yes, Temitope Olodo. Now the man wey sabi pass sabi. Temitope Olodo na professional and he get plenty much experience as a security guru. Anything or any matter wey concern security, leave am for am because na him be the baba. Temitope Olodo na diaspora community leader with better experience for community leadership. As a political scientist, Temitope Olodo does study and understand the political space, and he get over 20 years of news analysis with exclusive interview with top professionals at the top. I mean, them the oga gang where they are at the top. Yes, by Ogonge family. Shine your eye, open your ear. Temitope Olodo na the man wey sabi. Oh yeah, na as they hot, as they come on smoke. Temitope Olodo na security.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Temitope Olodo. I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum, and we've got um, quite an interesting conversation today. So before I proceed, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that we're going to be talking on quite a very, very interesting topic. So today we're going to be talking about terror, understanding terror alerts. Because there's a lot of conversations that are going on out there, in the public space about the alerts, issued by the Americans, followed by the British, followed by Australians and other countries. And a lot of people have gone online, to either attack the Americans for what they've done or give a wrong understanding of the subject matter. And I just felt there is no better way to deal with it than to actually talk about it on this platform. So today, our discussion is about uh, advisory notice, which is the terror notice given by foreign countries, especially in Nigeria, how the Nigerian government have received it, and our views on that, and whether what they said is wrong, or whether we feel that actually it's not in their place to give us such alerts. Now, in order for us to in order for you to understand where I'm coming from, I think it's important for me to share my own background and my understanding of this. Because in the United Kingdom, for those of you that are watching in the United Kingdom, and even if you're watching right now, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page just like you did last week. I want you to tell your friends that we're live and we're going to be having a conversation. A lot of you might have been confused by what you've heard on many channels, because a lot of our TV channels, unfortunately, do not scrutinize who they bring on board. Because I'll give you an example. If I'm a media executive, or what they call, they have a name for those individuals within a media team who will go out and source people, and they call me all the time, of course, and ask people, okay, can you come and speak on this topic? It's not about just getting every Jick and Harry that calls themselves a security expert. Thank you, Mr. John, for joining us. We're going to be having quite an interesting conversation today. So it's not just about just bringing just anybody to come and talk about it. You need to really understand if they have a good knowledge of the subject matter they want to talk about. Because if it's about just reading something online and coming to point out within 3 to 5 minutes on air, anybody could do that. Anybody could do that. So there are 3 questions I'll be asking. The first thing is, has this person worked either very close to this kind of work or have an understanding of this kind of work? So even if you're a police officer, it does not actually mean that you understand the advisory note that is issued. So let's be very clear about that, because police officers are just police hitting the beat. They go to the office in the morning and they give them a bit that they need to work on, or they have their caseload that they're working on if they become specialist detective and things. I could talk about that because I understand. I've worked in that field before. I was a Kent police officer. I worked on the beat of Dartford, latest Maidstone and across Kent for 2 years. So I understand that. I've worked in that industry. I've also worked in the area of policy. So I've worked as a secondment with the Metropolitan Police. If there's any other police that understand this issue, is the SO15 and the other group that actually produce this kind of document. I've worked, with different agencies within government that actually produce this kind of package and materials. So I understand what it is. So if you call me to talk about it, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can more or less share better light on it. It's not just about reading newspaper and say, oh, the Americans were wrong. So I've had some silly commentary like, oh, even the husband of the Speaker of the House, the number 4 citizen, was hammered down in her house. So if they can talk, they didn't even talk about that. And so what do they mean? That they're talking about Nigeria. Come on, please, please, please. Let's not turn this into childish conversation. Let's understand what we are talking about. Because this is not the first time that this government or the UK government or American government have been issuing this. For some of our viewers, people listening to me right now, it's important for me to highlight that UK started this listing or advisory since 2006. They even have a terror list since 2006. They've started doing this list since 2006, and before 2006, because I was in the system, I could tell you that every embassy produced packages. The Nigeria embassy in the UK should be producing packages. Of course, I don't know because I've not been there. I don't know if they just sit down there and drink coffee. I can't tell, because if they are developing packages to say, oh, this is areas of challenges in the United Kingdom. Let's use the United Kingdom as a challenge, as an example. So if, for example, I work as a military attaché in the Nigeria High Commission in the UK, what I'll be doing is looking at the UK landscape, where Nigerians stay, where Nigerians go to, and I'll be saying, based on some of the intelligence I am gathering, please advise Nigerians that Peckham is not a good place to go to at night. If you are part of the Yakpa generation that is coming, please know that young kids are being recruited to sell drugs. And because your kids are new and they are new in school and they want to, for example, fit in, they might get into a wrong group. Of course, we know that a lot of Nigerian youth are even involved in a lot of knife crime in the UK. And why? We know why. But let's not go there now. That's not the conversation for today. But what I'm trying to say is, you could develop your own intel package, send it to Nigeria, and the Nigerian government will be saying, okay, all this Yakpa generation, people going to London, people going to the UK and things like that. Please note that Peckham is not a good place to go to. Do not flash your wristwatch and things like that in areas like Hackney. Be very careful when you're in Brixton. You could be approached and things like that. So they could give that, and there's nothing wrong. And the UK government cannot turn around and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Because it's the gospel truth. I was walking on the street of Canning Town today, and I was approached by a guy that said, please give me money. Uncle, give me money. You'll be approached. Not like the Nigerian one where they are just standing by the window of your car saying, Allah, Allah, this, God will bless you. This one will harass you for money. So if Nigerian government says there are specific areas where people will harass you for money because there are druggies there's nothing wrong in that. Yes, I'm very happy that my brother is actually highlighting that he can remember that they were giving warning, UK was giving warning about, as far back as 1975. So just like I rightly said, they've been doing it for quite some time, but the terror alert actually started in 2006, and we know why, because after the July 7 bombing, London bombing, a lot of things changed in the UK. And part of the changes that happened in the UK was that they started having, kind of levels of security. So the UK has a 5-level security that they put, and they'll tell you, terror is likely, unlikely, very likely, imminent, and they've been doing that. So if they could do that for themselves, are you saying that they will not do that for their own citizens? They are doing it for the benefit of people like me and Mr. John, who might go to Nigeria and they will tell us do not visit certain places. If our Nigerian news decide to pick it up, our Nigerian journalists decide to pick it up and run with it to say, oh, this is it, that's Nigeria headache. If we are producing documents ourselves, then we will not have this problem. As I speak to you right now, if you go to the MI5 website, that list is there. They are going to tell you about the kind of challenges they are going through. There's something called community tension monitoring system that exists within the Association of Police Officers. I used to go to those places and they used to send me alerts when I used to work again on secondment on the Olympic, because I worked in briefly for 1 year for a section called Olympic Security Directorate. These are places that I've worked with where I've received alert and received intels, you know, and you have to have security clearance, and we're going to go into that because all these people coming on TV to come and talk, the first question you need to ask is, what kind of security clearance do they have? You know, before you even you've never worked in your life. You know, you've only worked in Tesco as a security guy. There's nothing wrong in that, because even for you to do security job in Tesco, before you could get your SIA badge, they will also do a DBS. And if you are the type that is doing what you're not supposed to do, they will ban you and tell you that you are a threat to vulnerable people, and they will not give you the clearance to be able to do that work. Most people that work in Nigeria, the Nigerian DSS that is clearing politicians that we know are thieves, and yet they clear them. Is that the ones that we have confidence in? That I will have confidence in them to give a clear this. I'm not saying they're not doing their job, but there are certain things that I cannot believe them for. I'm sorry. You know, I've worked in this industry. I know what it feels like. So what we're talking about is, when you're talking about risks, talking about alerts, this kind of security alert, it is done using a lot of systems. Some of those systems you'll be familiar with it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and the others. They use this kind of systems to look at areas of risks and things like that. You find out that if you visit a particular website, by the time you go on your Facebook, the algorithm have already picked you up and start sending you those kind of things. They use computer systems. People input information and they generate those information. I can remember vividly when I was working in the Office for Security and Counterterrorism, that there are intelligent information coming in about Nigeria, and of course I will not go to share with you. Even if you ask me to share with you, I will not share it. And recently I brought together a group of individuals, and we did some analysis, and I said that Nigerians in the diaspora, I did not write for the Nigerian people. My analysis was not for the Nigerian population. It was for Nigerians in the diaspora. And I said to them, please be very careful between now and December. In 3 months, do not travel to Abuja. I said do not, because there is possibility. I didn't say it's going to happen. I said there is possibility of a likely mid-air attack or attack on a plane that is about to land in Nigeria. Wow! Internet went bizarre. A lot of people send me message. Oh, tell me, why did you put yourself on the line? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Oh, this is serious. This is this. A lot of people, even people that have never worked for 1 day in a security environment, were telling me, oh, this, that. And sometimes you look at it and you ask yourself, if you want to criticize objectively, you could say, thank you so much for this analysis, but what are the parameters? How did you come in contact with this kind of analysis? Can you share with us some of your findings and things like that? There are ways in which we do this. Oh, no, you are writing things. Oh, national security issues are not issue for play. Excuse me? I worked in that industry. I know what it means, And, when people have never worked, never wore the uniform, never had the badge, never carried a gun, never worked on the beat, never done a job where it says homeoffice.gov.uk or cabinet.gov.uk or australia.uk, and then they want to lecture people like us that work in that industry. You look at it and you say, you know what? Yoruba will say, if not for the rain that fell, the chicken, the hens, the guinea fowl, and all those various birds will not be gathered in one place. So some people will just open their mouth and say things without having an understanding. And when I see people on TV, I've watched, I've made it a, I actually insisted, I told myself I need to sit down and watch a lot of programs on the Nigerian TV about people talking about these terrorists. And I was so surprised. In fact, sometimes I even was almost falling off my chair when I hear people giving analysis, on this issue. Even some people calling themselves major general coming and talking and saying things. Well, come here and tell me, oh, when I was in the service, this is the way we gather information. I'm not going to give you live analysis of how we do it, but this is the way. There's a beautiful sister of mine, lovely sister. She's from Kenya. And I know she won't mind. She organized a program in Kenya that I was involved in. I was one of the trainers, and we had a professor who worked in intelligence gathering, and this guy took us through another system of intelligence gathering that is done in the embassies and things. Opened my eyes to a different way, the way they do it in Italy, because the guy is from Italy. Brilliant work. In fact, I'm going to even talk to her after this program to please put that program up again. It was a brilliant, all of us, most of us there were people that work in the industry, but even with the fact that I work in the industry, what this guy, in terms of the use of open source, in terms of how they gather intelligence, what this guy did was miraculous. It was different from the way we do it in the British, because everybody have their own style of doing this thing. So if you're watching me right now, I want you to like this page, I want you to share this page, and I'm going to tell you what happened to my prediction that I did about 72 hours ago, and why some people cannot even eat up their word to say, oh, sorry, I think I got it wrong. But before I continue, let me play this beautiful. I love this guy, this little boy. I love himself and his dad, giving us information. So let's watch this music for 2 minutes. We'll come back and then I'll continue from where I stopped.
So much for us, we cannot tell it all. Good job, Faze.
Thank you, Daddy.
If I had 10,000 tongues, it still won't be enough. Facing amazing. Chukunagwa marlele. When you heal completely. Aye. Chukumar obimo. Isi kendule asi. Facing.
What shall I render to Jehovah?
Hey, for he has done so very much.
For me, what shall I render
What is it?
to Jehovah?
For he has done so very much for me. Nara, nara.
Okay, so let's go back. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Temitope Olodo. I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum. And a lot have been happening in Nigeria in the last 7 days. The Americans issued a advisory note that non-essential about possibility of a terror attack in Abuja, and afterwards they had to upgrade that alert and ask their people to leave. Instead of the Nigerian government gracefully working with them and saying, how can we deal with this, they went on the defensive. Oh, they don't know what they are talking about. Even their country, there's a lot of problem in their country, but that is not the case. But let me share with you this video that went viral, and it's actually a video of what was happening at the Americans checking out. They were just checking out. Yeah, they were checking out when they saw what was happening in Nigeria, and the way Nigerians were handling their whole story.
They're actually living. Diplomats. They are diplomats. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are living.
I have never known any country where the Americans or the British will pack their luggage and start sending their staff out of the country when it's not at the brink of war. And this should get Nigerians concerned. I recently issued, within the last 48 hours, I think, 48 hours, I issued what I called and tagged Nigerian diaspora alert. And I said in there, please do not travel to Abuja at this time. Fly into Abuja. I didn't say don't fly into Port Harcourt. I didn't say don't fly into Lagos. I said don't fly into Abuja because there's possibility that there might be a mid-air terrorist attack or there might be an attack on a plane that is about to land. And some of my brothers took me to task. Oh, what are you talking about? You know, this is not a joke. This is not this. But I was happy that my analysis, even though that was not the analysis given by the British or the Americans, but remember that I worked in this industry. I work in this industry. I remember vividly traveling to America and actually having audiences with some of their security agencies. I don't need to tell you which one I meant, but I met two different groups, you know, with some of my one of my colleagues from the Home Office then, and we had a conversation and talk about a lot of things. I've been to the ECOWAS headquarters in Nigeria to talk to the group, the team that is responsible for terror alert mapping, for tension monitoring. These are systems that are in place. Nigeria have a system, but as I speak, I wait for anybody to challenge me that they've been to. If you go to a UK department, right as you are entering, they will tell you the level of threat, and then you will see the kind of measures that are in place to check. In the Home Office where I used to work, they have an airport style of system. They have a system for staff to enter, and they have a different system for visitors where they check you, and you have to have a system in place. Go to the Nigeria. The only thing they did at the Nigeria police is to block road, to make the road inconvenient for people. They block the road because terrorists have even entered their place and bombed them there. So what they do is that they block the place. We use one car block. We use one car, put things on the road. Because they don't trust themselves. They do not trust themselves. There are ways in which there are things that you can put in place not to inconvenience the general public. Because they say, oh, military zone, do not go through. Military zone, and then you go, they will start flogging you. Have you ever seen that here in the UK? No. Even Downing Street, people are passing through. There is nothing blocking it. It's just their gate. And then policemen standing by their gate. That's Downing Street, seat of power. Try that in Abuja, where Abu Buhari is. 1 kilometer to the place, go. You can't enter. Yet, it is reported. Oh, please share this page. Share it, like it, what I'm talking about. Yet, it is reported that armed robbers entered Asu Rock. Armed robbers entered some of the Charlotte. They were still in there. And yet, you have everything there. Is it not the same Asu Rock that some of these military guys some of the security guys were exchanging bullets among themselves, shooting in the air? Who was punished for it? You hear a gunshot in Downing Street, and those people would not have lost their job. Happened in Nigeria. Is it not the same Nigeria? Very close to Asu Rock there that they were shooting when those people were trying to release their people. I'm not talking of the Kuje one or before Kuje. Yes. During Jonathan's time. So let's be honest with ourselves. So I said, and I thank you so much. I could see people watching me live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn, live on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Drop us a message. Please drop us a message. I will definitely answer your question. Now, I left a message on Twitter and I shared it on other platforms saying that there's possibility of, there's likelihood of an attack in midair or as a plane is landing. And some people went after me, oh, what you said is not right, this, that, those, started talking rubbish. And yesterday, just yesterday, a UK flight, British Airways flight, coming into Abuja was diverted to Lagos. Diverted. If you are watching me right now, I want you to like this page, share this page, and tell your friends. I'm telling you, when we talk, we're not just talking rubbish. The plane was diverted to Lagos, and then from Lagos, they now went back to Abuja. And they said it was because of terror issue. So, have they not justified what I said? It is not about the fact. Do you think I am happy for such a thing to happen? No, I don't. I'm not asking for it to happen. I'm only saying that we need to be very, very careful what we are doing. If you're in Nigeria, you don't have any important thing to do not go down to Abuja at this point on plane. So why would they move away from their path? Because if people know when their plane is coming in, they could easily... Is it not in this Nigeria? Please, if you're watching me right now, I want you to like this page, I want you to share this page, and I want you to tell me if I'm saying the truth or talking rubbish. Is it not this Nigerian that we were told that some government official had to go and pay money to buy the anti-craft gun that some bandits were using, that they used to shut down the, not ordinary plane, no, a military jet, yes, you heard me. A military jet was shut down over Nigeria airspace in Bida. Bida to Minna to Abuja is the same space. If a gun could be used to shoot down a plane, the only picture we saw was the picture of the army, the Air Force celebrating the fact that they got their man alive, that he didn't fall into the hands of Boko Haram. The same Boko Haram were the ones that stopped the plane from the train for Kaduna Abuja, where within 20 kilometer ratios of the place where that train was stopped, there are so many military establishments. The same Boko Haram entered into NDA. The same Boko Haram went to attack a super camp. The same Boko Haram attacked a presidential convoy, a decoy presidential. So the president could have been inside it. They attacked it, people were killed, and to today, as I speak, I'm ready to give you £500 if you can tell me that one person has been prosecuted and that they put it online. If you're watching me right now, I want you to like this page, share this page. I'll come back and I'll continue with my conversation on this matter because, this is...
Good job.
Thank you, Daddy.
Hey, it's done so much for me. We cannot tell it all facing. Good job.
Thank you, Daddy.
If I had 10,000 tongues, it still won't be enough. See, lift your voices if you're watching. Chukuna kwa marlele. When you heal completely. Receive healing.
So we hope you all receive healing and you all use your eyes and your ears As you're listening to me, my name is Temitope Olodo. I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum. I am not a prophet of doom, so please, I'm a political philosopher. I studied politics close to 30 years ago. I got my certificate to prove it. Yeah. So I analyze political climates and I give what we call political prophecies. And I know what is happening in Nigeria. We all know what is happening in Nigeria. Huh? The CBN came out to say they're going to change the design of Naira, and the president have approved. The only for some people to come out to say, oh no, we don't know about it, and they want to stop it. Why? Well, we know that 80% of money, cash, is in circulation. That's why people can give 100 million to bandits and nothing will happen. Nobody can trace the money. And they say, okay, bring your money back. All those bandits will not be able to collect their money. So those are the situation. Those are the situation. So what I'm saying is, I made my prediction and analysis, and then the British Airways flight coming into Abuja was diverted. The plane was diverted to Lagos. And the question then you need to ask is, why was it diverted to Lagos? Of course, because there was a threat on ground and they were notified by their own intelligence, not Nigerian police, Nigerian police, because the Nigerian IG, a man that, don't let me talk about that man. Yeah? The Nigerian police said there is no security issue. Really? As we speak, people are being adopted in Nigeria. I'm going to be bringing out, I'm doing a research now with some group of individuals. I was doing a 1-year analysis of terrorism, of kidnapping situation in Nigeria. We're going to be coming out live on it, on that issue. When I come out again, those people open their big mouth to say, where did he get the information from? Please, if you don't have better things to do, go and sit down. It's not everything that people have to talk about. There are times when you sit down and you don't talk. You listen to allow the masters to talk. People that work in this game. Have you sat where I've sat? You see, when we're talking about security clearance, I have security clearance up to top secret. Yes. I have security clearance, citizen security, which is counter-terrorism. My account had to be checked. Bring your bank account. They will look at it. They'll say, Mr. Olodo, how are you going to pay this debt? Because we need to be very clear that you can pay this debt, so you don't become a bandit. You don't become compromised because you're collecting money. Yeah. Look through my CV. Look through my people can. When you are, Paul said something. He said, "I don't like to boast, but when you ask me to boast, when you ask me, I can tell you." Recently, I did something like that. When I was provoked, I had to bring out my CV. Because my CV is out there for the public to see. I have to tell people where I've worked. When you are sure of your pedigree, you come out there. I don't have to hide my qualification. I'm not one of those politicians that will say, "Oh, I got this qualification. It's from Darukuku University." I don't use. You've never seen me put doctor in front of my name. I won't get, if it's doctor honorary, I will put it and write honorary. Don't deceive people and start saying that you're a doctor when you went to a mushroom school in Peckham to go and get a doctorate, a school that is not even recognized as a university. And then you want to come out because we are honoring you and say, "Oh, doctor this." We call you, we are honoring you and calling you doctor. And then because of that, you feel so boastful. No, you're not a doctor. Please. We know people, if you are a doctor, you will do it for 4 years. Don't call yourself a professor. Don't come to me and call yourself a professor when we know that you never have you've not even written one book in your life. Not written one book to qualify you as an author. You patch article, you pick somebody's article on academia. You pick what somebody have written, you change, you amend it. You pick what somebody has written on the Facebook, you amend it. You pick one another person and read it. You join it together. You put a title on it. You put it on newspaper page, and then you think you are an authority. No, you're not. No, you are not. I'm not here to talk about individuals, but I'm trying to say to you that when you're inviting people to come and talk to you, please know their pedigree. What job have they done? What clearance do they have? Because before you could be talking about this kind of thing, you must have an understanding of. We're not talking of what you learn in criminology 101 or 103. No, we're not talking of criminal minds. No, we're talking of real life here. We're talking of information that be assessed. I remember my wife of blessed memory. I'll be going to a place and she will call me that. Where are you going? I'll tell her, oh, I'm on my way to Manchester. I'm not on my way to Manchester because I cannot tell her where I'm going at that point because it's a security breach. Please, people should go and watch 24. Go and watch some TV programs, some series, and see how intelligence are gathered. Not the ones that some people will just go on TV and talk rubbish. I've written 8 books. 8 books. Not be joke. So when we are talking, we know what we are talking about. People come on TV, the Americans don't know what they are talking about. Excuse me? Do you know that some of the intelligence and information the Nigerians, the Americans are using come from Nigerians in high places? Yes, let me shock you. Some of them are double agents. They work for the Americans. They will give them information in the middle of the night, like Nicodemus, that will come and say, oh, dear master, I know you come from God. No, you don't need to educate me about it. I know you come from God. You know, I know your pedigree. There are people giving it for intelligence to Americans, to the British. They have people within our system, within the police. Is it Nigeria police? What is the clearance? Did I not show you a video last week? Or you want me to show you a video of a man that was drunk like this? That they gave cartridges to, that they gave bullet to. When I was working as a police officer, I walk into the police, into the station to wear my uniform, and then I'll be drunk and I'll be allowed to go out. The guy was in full uniform. Full uniform. If you want me to play, don't dare me. I will play that video. I have it. I've been on the road of Nigeria where police officers are collecting bribe on the road. Have you seen that in UK? No. I'm not saying they're not corrupt too, because they even set up their own department, anti-fraud department, to go after corrupt police officers. What they do to you, they have done to themselves. I'm not here to defend the British or the Americans. What I'm saying is, if there are intelligence that have been given out there, please look at the intelligence and say to yourself, how can we improve on it? Recently, I wrote some things on the platform where I have esteemed individuals I respect so much, individuals that know this game. I know you're watching me right on YouTube, you're watching me on LinkedIn, you're watching me on Facebook. Please leave a comment. You know, don't be scared by my by the way I talk. You know, I just get a bit irritated when I see people that when I see people giving analysis, and I watch some analysis. When I watch the Minister of Information, I was shedding tears. And this is the man representing us, sitting down there with his agbada and talking rubbish. The same man does not even know. There is one governor, I refuse to mention his name. When he wants to advertise or prove that he knows about security, when he wants to prove that he knows about security, he said, "Oh, come and see. CCTV is even put in my office of live feeds of what is happening." Really? Live feeds should go into a command and control center where people going into the place are restricted. Not everybody go into a command and control. Even when I was in the Home Office, when I was in the Office for Security, I don't go into the command and control center there. No. I have clearance, I cannot reach that level. Yeah? There are clearance and there are clearance. When you hear a white man say it is beyond my pay grade, he's telling you that he does not have clearance to that level. There are things that the Prime Minister knows today that if he mentioned to his wife, she will be on her way to the airport to get out of this country. There are things that Buhari knows that if some of us know, will cause problem. But the problem is the information Buhari knows, God, we don't even, I can't even justify it. I'm sorry. Is it the NIA, all those people? We can't even justify the money they collect. Thank you, my brother. Somebody that is watching us on Facebook says, Lai Mohammed is a very confused man from the onset. Yes, we know that. Very confused. You are talking about the fact that, oh, the Americans are doing this. Yet, as I speak, if you go on Facebook now, the Americans special forces have already landed in Nigeria and they are already booking them into hotels. And instead of the IG coming out to say, oh yeah, we are working with the relevant partners and we're doing this, he said, oh no, there's no security alert. Really? As we speak, girls are being raped so that they could get pregnant and create baby factory. How many of them have been raided? As we speak, ships are entering into Nigerian soil and taking oil and going away. Yeah, one of my brothers who we went to Usmanu Danfodio together said they're looking at buying the equipment, coming out to tell us they're looking at buying the equipment. We went to school today. Kokose. We call him Kokose. When we were in school. Lovely guy. I love him. Yeah, it's my brother. Yeah. So these are guys I went to school with, you know. No, what we're talking, I see one of my lecturer there is now the permanent president of the African United Nations. Permanent said, Professor, what's his name again? Is it Tanko? What's his name is? You know, he was the former vice chancellor of the University of Sokoto, Usman Dafodio. You know, so you see, bottom line is there are Nigerians that are intelligent, but they've not been given the opportunity to use their skill set. I know a lot of Nigerians, a lot of police officers who are PhD, who have done all this analysis, they know it, but they will never allow them there. Then you have someone like the IG who doesn't even know his left from his right, saying that there's no terror alert in Nigeria. If there's no terror alert, let him leave his special unit behind and go and stand on the road in Imo State. If the iPod boys or they say they are not iPod boys, if they will not show him, the Biafra boys will not show him. If they will not show him, these guys need to speak. They speak with both sides of the mouth. Yet we know that there was a raid in Abuja in an estate where some explosives were discovered. The police will not come out to talk about that. Instead, they even come out to debunk it, that they didn't do any joint operation with anybody. Yet people, landlords, members in that estate came out to say, yeah, we saw Nigerian police or Nigerian military with white people. What is white people doing? Joining you in joint team, joint operation. If they are not the ones that give you the intelligence or you need their skill set. You know, we need to stop all these things. So please, can I use this opportunity to speak to our media? When you are bringing people on to come and talk, please check their pedigree. Do they even have the security clearance? Have they worked in a system where they have been checked, where they are, they've been checked, they have CTC, SC clearance, they work on intelligence, they gather intelligence, they pass that intelligence to people. If somebody have not worked in that industry, how can he be talking about it? I have people say, oh yes, there was rainy season. Rainy season is hampering people from doing. Does Boko Haram people know about rainy season? Let the trade start to work again if they will not come and start kidnapping people on Kaduna Abuja road. If there was intelligence, why did you stop them? And even then, even if you can't stop it, of course, because we know some things you can't even stop. Even if you can't stop it yet, it took a lot of people getting involved before you can even get those people. This is now one you now start flexing muscle. You want to go kill them. I want to go kill them after 100 days. You want to go kill them. I beg, I remember when we saw, what's his name, Arubu, Chief of Defense Staff, when he came to London. He attended one event, one of the conferences where I was a speaker. My people took picture with him. We have evidence of it. We spoke to him, told him, yeah. Then he was in multinational task force. People here that have the skill set. The people that you are talking to here, things like that. They spoke to him. They took pictures. I took the picture. I was the one that took the picture. The picture is on our website. Go to our website, African Security website. You see the picture there. So we met them, we spoke to them, and all of them will promise heaven and earth when they get there that, oh yeah, we will engage with you people, in order to, when they get there, they become something else. We don't need them. We are working here. My salary. Nothing will happen to my salary. Whether plane land in Nigeria or doesn't land, my salary doesn't change. I get paid. Yeah, I'm working. I get paid. So it doesn't matter. So what am I saying here? Try and bring people that know what they are talking about. The UK, America have intelligence. They gather intelligence from multi-source. And those intelligence, they will sift them and then they will take the actionable intelligence and use them. Yeah? If they give you information and you believe that the information they're giving you, you're concerned about it. Well, I'm not saying that the Americans saying that there's going to be a terror attack that is going to happen. No. If you even have three things, if you put people on the beat to be working in different areas, the hotspot in Abuja. You put them in the hotspot, you're stopping cars and doing your stop and search. You're not just allowing a big man to walk through, because big men can even be used. Their wife could be held on gunpoint, and then they will tell the husband to help carry a package to enter into the police headquarters. There's so many techniques that could be used. That's why even if the Home Secretary is going into this place, they will check her. Everybody is checked. Nobody is immune. But in Nigeria, big man will, I dare you touch me. I dare you touch me. Don't you know who I am? I'm chief so. High priest. No. Everybody's checked. Thank you. If you're watching me right now on Facebook, watching us on LinkedIn, watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. The bottom line is, Nigeria has recently started doing their own level. But have you ever had Nigeria talk about those levels and are using those levels as the basis for which they are engaging? No. And that's the reason why we're saying that when people come up with this kind of analysis, check it. Don't just bring people to come and talk on live TV and be talking rubbish. Let there be people that have worked in the system, that understand the system. Because they write one article which they have gone to. I can do it. Anybody can do it. Even my viewers that don't know anything about security, just Google what is terror alert. Different type of terror alert. How is terror alert composed? Put it together, put it in newspaper. You also become an authority on it. So you just gather the information. So the fact that people gather information and put it down doesn't mean that they know what they are talking about. Because most of it is just book. There's a difference between book, theory, and practical. And we need to be making that very, very clear. Don't just bring people on air to be talking gibberish. There's a threat issue. The question is, what should we do differently? What you should do differently is be vigilant. Be careful. When you see something, say something. Tell people around you, what is this man doing? He's dropping a bag here. He's doing this. If you see suspicious vehicle, call the authorities and tell them, oh, we've seen a suspicious vehicle. Do that. What the Nigerian government do? They give us a lot of numbers. The command is giving us 08 number. They want you to use your own number to be calling. Why are they not giving us the counterterrorism number and say this is a 121 number? Call it anywhere in the nation. When you call that number, we can give us intelligence and we'll work on it. Give them intelligence. They will ask you what's your name, and then they will tell the people to come and meet you that you are the one that gave them the intelligence. Now, this must not be. We need to stop all this game. We should not be playing games with the lives of Nigerians. So I came out and I said, on behalf of my organization, African Security Forum, you can go and check us out. We've done a lot of things. We've done a lot of work. And we did our analysis and said that there might be an attack mid-air. Americans did not say it. The British did not say it. The Australians did not say it. We said it. And we were attacked on coming up with that kind of analysis. Well, yet I was justified yesterday when a British plane was diverted. So I think people will eat up their words now and apologize to me for my analysis, because we know that the UK, the Nigerian government went to buy back. Nobody denied it. They went to buy back the weapon that the terrorists will have used. We know that the president convoy was attacked on the way to Katsina. You know, we know that. We know that. We know that there's some areas in Abuja, there's a no-go area. We know people are being kidnapped on a daily basis across the nation. We know that people are being killed for rituals, Yahoo boys. So there are issues, just like in America, there's a lot of issues happening, and they produce documents for domestic consumption, they produce documents for external consumption. You know, you can't even come out with. There was a time when the police, somebody was producing report, and the politicians shut them down. No, don't produce this report. Why? Why not? Recently, the police in the UK were under a lot of pressure because people were concerned about the amount of time it takes them. I think they said it takes maybe up to 8 seconds or 9 seconds or 10 seconds for them to pick, or 3 seconds for them to pick up a phone call when you call for emergency. And they were challenging them on that. Call Nigerian police, they wait until the robbers have gone, and then they'll tell you to come and buy petrol for them. Yeah? Because the IG and his people are not giving them enough money. Maybe they even give, I think, by every police station, I start to be corrected, I think it's only 50,000 naira they give them per quarter or per month. What would 50,000 naira do to run a police station? You know? They don't have the appropriate equipment. Even when I was a police officer 20 years ago, and what I had, the kit I had then, believe me, those days, you go into a big warehouse and there are people tailors there that will help you fit your clothes and everything. When I entered, I cried. When they brought out boots and everything, police officers are still buying uniforms with their own money out of their salary. They're buying uniforms. And yet somebody's coming out to tell us that no, there's no terror allowed, there's no issue. So people, please be vigilant. Be vigilant. Don't allow anybody tell you rubbish. Be very careful about your children going to school. Call the principal, ask them what kind of security measures do you have in place. Ask them. If you don't ask, you will not know. Check with your banks. Do they have the necessary security clearance? I know they have people there that will check if you have dropped the wallet and dropped your things. You know, but those are kind of things that we need to check. We just need to be vigilant. And once we are vigilant, everything will be okay. You know, this is the point at which I will anchor. Thank you so much for joining me, all the people joining me on Facebook, link. I really appreciate you. Please share this video widely, and let's be vigilant. And I'm confident that every one of us will be saved. The release given by the Americans is not meant to scare us, but more or less to just make us wary and vigilant. And that's the way it should be viewed. I don't think they should be attacked. I don't think the UK government should be attacked, or the Australian government, for releasing that information. And I don't think that released information should be attacked. Of course, I've been justified. Because, you know, very clearly, you know, there was a diversion of a plane from the UK to from what do you call it, Abuja to Lagos. And that's because, you know, somebody, some information got to them, and they realized that, you know, things were not going the way it should go. You know, so we need to be very, very careful. You know, we need to be very, 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 very careful. You know, there are things happening out there, and we need to be sure that we're not going to be a victim of those things that are happening out there. You know, we need to be very, 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 very careful. You know, so at this point, I'm going to anchor. But before I anchor, let's talk about time, because time is very precious. I want you to listen to this.
time waits for no one. Time stops for no one. Your excuses will not slow down time. Your indecisions will not delay time. Your complaining will not stall time. And your regrets will not turn back time. So, don't waste your time in anger, regrets, worries, and hate. Because time will not turn back and cry along with you. It's time to let go of the past and stop worrying about the future. Your only time is now.
Your only time is now. Please do not listen to any government officials that are just speaking from every side of their mouth because they want to protect their job. Please be vigilant. Be careful about what you do. Watch. Send this video to many people. There are a lot of things you can do. Visit my website. I've talked about a lot of variety of issues, things that you can do to protect yourself and your family. I've written a book that is available on YouTube on Nigeria Emergency Family Plan. Go and check it out. If you need a copy, get in touch with me. I can give you an autograph copy. You know, let's be safe. Let's be watchful of what we do. Until we meet again, my name is Temitope Olodo, President of African Security Forum. It's a pleasure being able to come to your room.
Temitope Olodo, I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum based in the United Kingdom.
Joining me live now to discuss this further is terrorism expert and author Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by security analyst Temi Olozo. Good morning, Temi.
Ladies and gentlemen, my people, to be man, no be by muzzle, to be man, no be by plenty bia. Okay, what do you know about security will concern your life, concern your family, and concern your community? How much about politics will concern you, and even concern the politics you know about? You want know more? You want sabi as they go? Oh yeah, now introducing Temitope Olodo. Yes, Temitope Olodo. Now the man wey sabi pass sabi. Temitope Olodo na professional and he gets plenty much experience as a security guru. Anything or any matter wey concern security, leave her for her because na him be the baba. Temitope Olodo na diaspora community leader with better experience for community leadership. As a political scientist, Temitope Olodo does study and understand the political space, and he gets over 20 years of news analysis with exclusive interview with top professionals at the top. I mean them the oga gang where they are at the top. Yes, by Ogbonge family. Shine your eye, open your ear. Temitope Olodo na the man wey sabi. Oh yeah, na as they hot, as they come on smoke. Temitope Olodo na security.